can't stress how important that is, guys. If you can really become efficient in that position and getting to hamstring, again, you'll score a lot of points. You know, not only keeping people off your legs, but making them pay for bad shots. Okay, and against somebody really good, you know, you watch like the NCAA finals or medal matches at the World Championships. Very rarely is it somebody just takes one shot and they get to the leg. Okay, good guys, your only opportunity to get to the leg might be on a go behind or re-attack. All right, because no matter how good my positioning is, it's just the nature of wrestling. If I commit to a leg attack and I don't get there, I'm susceptible for a second. All right, so you really need to develop those go behinds and re-attacks. All right, so moving on here, I don't want to let guys beat my head and hands. Okay, first two lines of defense. I'm real stingy. I don't want to let guys in, but if somebody does beat me, we got to know what to do. Okay, so we'll kind of, just for time's sake, we'll lump together single leg and high crotch defense. You guys are going to see in a second. It's really the same exact skill. Okay, the only difference is on a high crotch, I got to pass this guy's head first and get it inside. Okay, so let's say Colby shoots a single leg on him. Okay, he beats me. Okay, number one priority on baseline defense here, guys, has got to be stuffing head. All right, I'm going short whizzer with my left hand here, just right in his armpit. Okay, and this hand, okay, is coming to the head. If I can't reach, maybe I got to start with this one. Okay, maybe I got to start stuffing with this one, and then I'm feeding it here. But I'm getting his head in the middle of my body so I can cover it. All right, so stuff. Okay, as I'm stuffing, I'm going to start squaring up, and I'm going to throw my legs back. Okay, here. All right, you guys see how I got his head covered? I'm not leaving this hip open where he can pop his head and cut me back. All right, that's probably the biggest mistake I see on baseline defense is guys stuff head and they don't cover, okay, and get hips square to the mat. They leave that gap. All right, so I stuff, I cover. All right, now, this right here is probably the toughest part of baseline defense. Okay, this is going to be a real tight position. This guy, you see where his lock is at on the back of my knee here? Okay, he's still in a good position to finish. This is probably about as 50-50 as it gets in terms of a position in wrestling. Okay, 50% advantage him, 50% advantage me. What happens next is going to determine who scores here. Okay, so if I start trying to go behind here, he's going to be able to pull this leg in, okay, and get the corner. His lock is still too low on my leg. Okay, so after I cover his head and I did that initial sprawl, I'm trying to find knees here. Okay, it may end up being a little higher, but I'm trying to get as low as I can. And you guys see how my toes, okay, go down? I'm not sticking my toes in the mat where if he drives, it's going to run me up to my feet. Okay, my waist has got to be down so I can slide. And then also, watch what I'm going to do here. As I'm pushing on his knees, all right, I'm going to use my toes to inch myself back. You guys see that? All right, now his lock is up around my butt. Now I'm in a position to go score. Okay, so once I move that lock up, I'm transitioning from these knees to hamstring and armpit. I call it anchoring in. Okay, now watch how my opposite hip is going to come in. You guys see that? Okay, that's going to put a lot of pressure on his shoulders and stick his elbow on the mat here. Okay, opposite hip in. Okay, keep hip pressure when we go behind. All right. So again, he shoots single, he beats my head and hands. I got to find this head right away. Okay, got to find it. Stuff. Okay, cover it as quickly as you can. Get your hips square to the mat. Throw your legs back. Here, you guys see how I'm covering him? Okay, now resist this temptation. This is going to be tight here. He's going to be trying to suck this in. It's going to feel like maybe you can't move off it, but you can. Okay, do not reach over and grab these ankles or try to grab his butt. He's going to knee slide and high post me every time. Okay, you start reaching over the top. So this is the most critical part, is finding those knees right away and sliding off. Slide off, anchor, opposite hip. Okay. Always going away from the leg that he has. If he's got this leg, I got to go around opposite way. All right. If he totally lets go of the leg and puts hands back to the mat, that's a different position. Then we're in short offense, and you can go either way. But if he's even got a fingertip on that leg, I got to go away. Okay? Let's say he lets go and he's only got his right fingertips on this. Okay? If I try to go around this way, he's right back to where he was. You guys understand that? Okay. So stuff square, sag, opposite hip, attacking hamstring and armpit. Like I said, we're going to lump together high crotch and single leg. Okay? High crotch here, all right? Everything's the same except I got to bump past his head first. I'm going to meet him with my hips, okay, and bump him to create some space. Then I pass, and then I'm stuffing. Everything's exactly the same. All right? And people that are good at this bump pass, it really throws guys off. You know, number one, he beats my head and hands, high crotch. Okay, you see how I'm jarring him back with my hips? Okay, so that's one, I'm stopping his momentum, but two, we all have a side, you know, I'm much better at finishing a high crotch on this side than I am a single leg, right? That's probably 95, 100% of wrestlers, okay? So when I pass this guy, he goes from a position where he's real strong, maybe I'm not as good at finishing single leg on this side, okay? So you guys see, if he's good and he's glued on me here, I'm not just going to be able to pass this. I got to hit him. Okay, I got to hit him to create some space. Pass. Okay, you guys see I'm just using my forearm here? All right. I'm just using my forearm to pass and then stuffing. If he's really got the corner on me, and maybe I do got to go with like a loose chin whip for a second to pass his head. Pass, and then stuff. All right. But then everything's the same, right? Bump, pass, up, square. Right away, finding those knees. Not here. Sag, sag, sag. Opposite hip. Okay. Make sure when we're going around, don't relieve hip pressure and start bringing your hips up. It's again, I'm leading with my chest. I'm keeping constant pressure with my hips, driving into it. All right. Any questions on this?
What's going on with his head as you're transitioning across? Are you using your hips to push him to one side or face one direction or the other?
When I'm going behind?
Yeah.
So what I mean by opposite hip, this puts a lot of torque on his shoulder. His head is just, it's under, okay? I'm covering it.
But you're turning your hips a little twist.
I go an opposite hip in. So if I just stay square here, there's not that much pressure on his shoulder. But when I get this opposite hip in, it kind of sticks his arm in the mat, and it's real uncomfortable, isn't it, Colby? That's a good question. That's
okay.
A big key, is getting from here to here. Okay. And the mistake I see a lot is, instead of getting that opposite hip in, people try to leave this opposite hip open.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything, guys? Okay, let's try it. Give him a few single legs, a few high crotches, okay?
Sorry.
Yeah.
When you're sprawling, we want to get to our knees, or we're going to have straight legs.
I want to throw my legs all the way back. Okay, what I see a lot with our kids is when we sprawl, they'll stick their feet in the mat. Again, if this guy drives, it's going to drive me right up. Okay, so I'm fully releasing and throwing my legs all the way back. And trying to get right to laces down. Okay, where I can dig my toes and slide. All right, you know when you're ready to go behind, when his lock is moved from here to here. Okay, then I'm transitioning. All right. And you know, you don't want to, there's a happy medium there, right? I don't want to go to the hamstring too soon before I move the lock all the way. But I don't want to wait too long. Once I move it up, I got to transition there, because if somebody lets go and they try to back out and I'm not on a hamstring, I'm going to lose it. It's game on. As soon as that lock breaks, you better be anchored in. On to 1, 2.